Bye. Bye. All right, welcome back to another episode of Nurture the Mind. I had to think about that one because I don't really plan the intros. I don't really plan anything. That's a common theme on this podcast / YouTube channel. I really just try and dissect whatever topic it is that I've been thinking about, or at least something that I think I can shed some light on. And so this week we're going to talk about what it means to be a leader in today's society, ways that you can be a leader, how you can influence other people through your actions. The reason that I'm I guess newly obsessed with this subject is just because I feel like I've started to realize the impact that I have on other people in very small and subtle ways, and also in very profound and life-changing ways. So, as you guys know, I got a new job back in April, so I'm about 2 months through at this new job, and obviously there has been a lot of obstacles that I've had to go through. There's just so many layers to the job, so it feels like, I know that the 2 months that I've been there already, like, there's still so much to learn, and that can definitely feel like an overwhelming process. But the coolest thing that I've noticed so far at the job is I'm starting to build better relationships with not only the members but really my clients, and I've had some really interesting conversations surrounding like self-improvement and mental health and spiritual health and all that stuff. And I thought, like, in the beginning, that was why I was a good candidate for the job. Is okay, yeah, as being a personal trainer, you're setting up workouts and you're there for accountability and to motivate people. You're helping them physically get fit. But I felt like a lot of my specialties or my areas of expertise came in the form of, mental stability, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. And so I don't know, it's been a really cool experience, although there's been a lot of frustration as far as like I am still dealing with perfectionism. It's just, really as I've said before, everybody kind of has their certain struggles in life, and that seems to be mine. And I'm becoming more and more aware and cognizant of like where it developed from. We all have a little bit of trauma from our childhood, and I definitely think it came from that point in time, and that kind of set the precedence. But it's just, as you get older, you realize that mentality is no longer serving you and is making you dim your light and your shine, per se, to what you could offer to the world. And so with that being said, I had to go through kind of this reintroduction to perfectionism because I was starting a new job and I had no idea what I was doing, and I felt like an imposter because I was up there telling people to get fit, but I had never done this sort of thing before in any jobs that I had worked. I'd kind of done it when I'm still working at the Indianola YMCA, but I kind of did it when I was a wellness coach there, and we had a system called Active Tracks, and it was kind of like an introduction for members that were just getting started in the gym, but it wasn't like a personal trainer. You didn't see these people. You only saw them once. You had the first initial appointment, and you could only put them through like 5 different exercises, and then you kind of send them on their way. With personal training, it's like, you get to see these people every week, so you get to learn about their life, what their certain struggles are, and I've really just tried to connect with people and understand them on a deeper level, and then provide any insights that I can about, things that I've gone through to help them with whatever struggle they're going through. And so I promote a lot of 75 hard talk, and so me and head coach Danny, the girl that trained me, we set up like a mini 75 hard challenge for this weekend. So Saturday, What's today? Today's the 29th. So Saturday the 28th, Sunday the 29th, and then Monday the 30th, for all of our clients to do kind of like a mini 75 hard challenge. And it's just cool. Like I feel like I'm starting to really see how much of an impact I can have on people. And it's also based on some of the comments I've gotten from clients saying like, hey, like you're a really good motivator. You're doing a really good job. You talk about, because I'll be open with them and say, I feel like an imposter, and they're like, no, I feel like you're pretty educated on what you're doing. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's not what goes on in my head, but I think people fail to realize the amount of impact that they can have on other people, and that's more fulfilling than anything in this world, in terms of like material possessions and gaining money. And definitely, like, I do want to make more money. I want to strive to making more money to, like, at least get myself up and out of this apartment and get a house and have a wife and kids one day and be able to support them and all that stuff. But right now, I don't know. It's something that I think it's good to hone in on. Being 25, like, I tend to forget in the wide scope of things. I'm still very young. I think it's because my mindset is a little bit more evolved than people my age. So it's frustrating because I often get lonely and I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing right now? But I think something that's really brought me back to earth is just, like I just said, realizing that with this new job, like in the short amount of time that I've been there, for 2 months, I've already like had an impact on people, and that's pretty fucking cool. And even coming from COC, my previous job, again, still technically working there as a sub, but I had to deal with people that had intellectual disabilities and had to figure out how to navigate their personalities and help them reach their best results. So yeah, it's just kind of weird, this theme that has popped up between my last 2 jobs and maybe even a little bit at the Indianola YMCA is I guess I'm just good at motivating people and getting people to achieve their best, and I think I'm going to see more and more results like that the longer that I'm at Anytime Fitness. And so again, this is just kind of like an insight that I've had here recently, is I've noticed with people, because like I'll have clients come up and be like, you really kind of pushed me, and I'm like, yeah, I mean that's the goal, that's the objective, and you rose to the test. And I've talked about this subject with a few people in this last weekend. The idea actually comes from Jordan Peterson, one of my biggest influences, and he's talked a lot about how you should encourage other people, and the reason behind that is most people go their entire lives, or in their childhood and their adolescent years and early adulthood, they never get praise or admiration from their peers or from their parents, just because they don't know how. And so like people are literally starving to be encouraged, and you don't realize just like even a small amount of like a congratulations, or saying, hey, what you're doing in the gym is awesome, and give them a pat on the back, and also be sincere about it. You really don't understand that could literally fucking change someone's life. That could turn somebody's day around that was feeling suicidal. And so I don't know, I guess this is just how I've been thinking lately, and I just want to embody more of it. I kind of thought last year that as things started to get better throughout my life, I kind of saw this theme of leadership popping up, and I was like, I want to be a leader. I want to help people and lead people. And the other side of that, to like kind of pull this whole idea together, is you also have to embody it. Like, it's one thing to encourage people, that's what a good leader does, but you also have to lead by example. So for me, like, I live a healthy lifestyle, I have good habits. I don't really have to go into the whole list. If you wanted to, I could tell you, like, I talk about 75 hard a lot with clients, and the reason for that is because I've done it. I've seen the benefits of it, and currently I'm in the Live Hard program right now, phase 2. Today is my last day of it, and then I have a break before I start phase 3 later on this year. And so I have some validity behind my words because I've done it, I've had that experience. And also, if I'm talking to a client, oh, hi buddy. Here comes the kitty. Here comes the kitty boy. This is Miller. You guys probably don't get to see him often on camera. He tries to fuck with the camera because that's what cats do. They're curious. They want to know what's going on. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. You join the show. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll even talk to clients about, habits and habit forming and my experiences with that stuff. And I feel like I have a lot of good habits right now. So again, I feel like I'm qualified to kind of give some advice. And the main thing is, I just try and encourage people if people come in with a negative mindset or attitude, because there's those people too. We all have to deal with those people in our lives. I don't ever really give into the negativity. I've gotten really good at deflecting it, and I don't know. I really enjoy this job for all the things that I just mentioned. It's not to knock on COC, but the culture and the environment was the thing that was the worst on top of management, and that was kind of the whole reason that I left. It wasn't that people supported at all, but now going to Anytime Fitness, it's just like it's a vast difference. Like, I only really technically have 2 coworkers and then the boss man. So there's a lot less of that back and forth chatter that happened at COC, because there was, potentially, you end up getting to meet like at least 20 people that you've worked with over the span of 2 years. It's a high turnover ratio. You get temps that come in, people that are full-time, part-time. Sometimes you work with management. Get to know the overnight people. I mean, it's just, you met so many people, but it's refreshing now that I'm in a different place at Anytime Fitness, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just tapping into the potential that I have. And so if I can just find a way to continue to work through the frustration of the perfectionism, it's my biggest issue. All you guys that watch this video, put a comment down below and tell me what your certain struggle is, because there are people that are like addicted to things. There are people that are struggle with their weight. There are people that have anger issues. Like, there's vast problems and issues that we all go through, but like everybody kind of has that signature thing. Perfectionism, a mindset, a belief system. It's outdated. It's from the childhood. It's from that inner child that was wounded, that didn't get enough of that attention from, and again, I don't like to blame my parents. I think a lot of it came from my dad, but it's just, hey, I'm just being honest. Things were pretty screwed up in my childhood, but I also had, there were also aspects of my childhood that were really good, so that's why I don't like to harp on it. I'm mentioning it because then people can relate, because everybody has some form of, issues that were developed as, when they were a kid. And even if you had a really good childhood and your parents gave you a lot of love and affection, I mean, you're going to run into a point where, you may think that everybody's like that, and then you fail to realize that there is still a lot of evil in the world, and people can be quite selfish, and they will hurt you, and sometimes it's not even intentionally. They're just doing it, again, based on their wiring of the past, and they're running out that same pattern because that's what they learned in their childhood. So anyways, shaking past that, working through that, understanding the amount of leadership. Like, I'm 25, and again, I was thinking back to last year is when that theme really started to pop up in my mind about being a leader. I guess what I'm trying to say with this video is, you don't know how many people you could be impacting. Like, we think that we can't really do much for other people, and you can't change people's lives on your own. They have to put in the work, but you are an example for other people. There are people that are constantly watching you. So again, I'll just pull an example for myself. Being in this new job position, relying on the background that I have, the philosophy that I carry with me, my clients, after getting to know them for a while, being around them for, like I said, even for 2 months, for one, they've started to trust me, but they see where my head's at, and they respect that, because there's not a lot of real people in this world, and they believe in me because I believe in them, so they're going to put in even more effort. So I'm leading in a way where I didn't even realize that I was. Or an example that I've given out a lot too is, like, let's say you started 75 hard and you're walking outside, and so like right now it's summer, so this is what I do: take my shirt off, get a freaking tan, but you're also being proactive, productive, and staying fit and active and healthy by getting your walk. Let's say that, you know, you're walking by, so here in Indianola we have the Indianola Veterans Memorial Aquatic Center. It's our pool, it's our outdoor pool. Seasonal, right? Because Iowa's only has decent weather for like 3 months out of the entire year. Let's say, because this is my route, I walk by there, and there's like a gang of boys that go there every single day. They're youngins, you know, they're just kind of getting started in life. They're having a good time. They don't really have to worry about a whole lot. But let's just say they see me walking every day, and they're like, look at this guy. That's what I want to do. I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. Let's start doing that, guys. Let's get together and let's go on some walks. You never know. You never know who's watching you. That's my point. I learned that from Andy Frisella, and I made a whole video last week about his podcast, talking to men. Even though life right now for me feels kind of, I feel like we all experience this. Every day feels the same, and it's like repetition, 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 and it's really fucking boring. And the only new thing that's happened to me in the last 2 months is the new job. It's like you're waiting for something to happen, but you can't give up. You can't give up on the foundation that you're setting, and it's leading to something better. And along the way, you're going to help other people. I guess, again, I make these videos for you guys, but it's also partly for me to recognize how much of leadership qualities I have inside of me, and to really embrace that and to enjoy it and be like, hey, I'm making an impact. And even if it's just a small number of clients that I have, because I only have 20 clients, and maybe some people on the outside looking in, or family members, say you helped, 30 people. Bro, that's amazing. Just even to help one person is amazing. I mean, I think more and more people should approach life with that mindset. Like, hey, I'm serving others. It's giving me a purpose. It's making the world a better place. It's making the world a better place for then the time that I die and I leave, I left it a better place. I made my mark on the world. I think that mindset shift would be the thing that could kind of pull me away from that perfectionism. Is like, okay, you're trying to be perfect all the time, but it's not working. It's squeezing your attention on your brain, because the brain will then focus on that, focus on it, focus on it, focus on it. No, what are you doing right? What are you doing today that's not only helping you, but is potentially helping other people? I feel like I sound like Andy Frisella, but it's like, that's how we change the world. That's how we get back on track. We don't go, like, we can complain about the problem all we want, but you have to be the solution to the problem that you're complaining about. When you set the example, other people will follow. You have so much more of an impact than you think. I'm speaking to you guys, but I'm speaking to myself. So get your shit together as much as you possibly can. Lead by example, and other people will begin to follow, because it'll become it's not even like a trend or a cool thing. It's like, if you're getting your shit together, other people are going to be like, oh, I should get my shit together. So anyways, I hope that was an enlightening message for you guys today. If you're new to the channel, please like the videos, subscribe to the channel. If you got anything of value from what I said, please share it to somebody. If it comes up in a conversation with a person, if you want to share it on social media, that's really cool too. Just tag me. All I have is Instagram, Pootsie Mama, but I mean, if you're on Facebook or wherever, that's cool too. I don't mean to harp on this so much all the time. It always comes at the end of the video and the podcast, but the reason I say it is because that's how we grow. Just like I was saying just a second ago with leading and impacting people, and even if it's one person at a time, that's the same philosophy. Don't cut me off. That's the same philosophy when it comes to this channel and getting that message out to other people. You don't know what type of person would benefit from seeing this. So do me a solid. If I did you a solid and I gave you some hope or some wisdom, I hope these videos serve a purpose. I hope I'm not just running in circles, because sometimes it can feel like that, and it can feel like I'm not doing enough. And again, that's probably just the perfectionistic part in my brain, but yeah, this is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is my dream, is to make this shit fucking pop off. So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video and podcast next week. Until then, make sure you're staying healthy, you're activating your mind, you're learning, you're taking risks, investing in your growth and your development. Don't focus on pleasure and material things that are superficial and are only going to get you a small result. Focus on the shit that's going to take you to the next level and beyond that, something that's long term. Think long term, think medium to long term. Don't think short term. You'll never get anywhere. Alright guys, I love you. I'll see you on the next episode, podcast, video, whatever the fuck you want to call it.